Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and welcome back to another episode of Team Untapped Reads. Woohoo! Congratulations everybody for completing the previous book, Grit by Angela Duckworth. Yay! Now we are about to jump into the energy bus. Alright, so it's a bus. So there's going to be a lot of engine noises, a lot of funny noises in the background. That is supposed to happen because this is the energy bus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the energy bus. Wow.
Okay. You have a horn sound or something?
Yeah, I should find a horn sound. Wait, let me see if I have a horn sound over here. I have a gun. I have victory. What's this? What?
Sorry, party.
Oh, okay. I can't hear it, so only you guys can hear it.
Okay, nice one.
Alright, so... Alright. Okay, so we are back with a new book. I can't hear what happened, so I'm sorry. We're back with a new book called The Energy Bus by Jon Gordon. Okay, and this book, the presentation style of this book is very different compared to Grit. So I am expecting the chapter flow to run a little bit differently as well. Oh, hi Eva. Eva just joined us on the chat. Okay, so because this chapter is slightly different, the questions we're going to ask are also going to be different. Basically, the energy bus is written in the style and format of an entire narrative story. Okay, so from the beginning to the end, it's going to be a narrative story. Somebody else is going to be telling another story, and we are going to dive deep onto this story and join them on the energy bus. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so this is the energy bus by Jon Gordon. Okay, we'll be reading this book for the next I foresee next 13 weeks. Okay, which is a very long time actually to read this book. This is this is a very simple book, like Ray mentioned earlier, right? It's a very simple book, but then why are we taking so long to read it? Because we're gonna try to deep dive into it. Right? This book is really interesting. Okay, and those of you who like to pick it up, it only takes what, 5 days to read this book, even if you're reading at 10 pages a day. So it's a very simple book to read. Okay, the most powerful thing about this book is the underlying story. Right? It's about taking back control of our lives and not letting circumstances or things around us dictate our way of thinking. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into some reminders. Okay, before we begin. So if those of you guys who are joining us again from our Grit era, you will remember that we had 3 reminders. Now we only have 2 because I think we should simplify, right?
Sign of maturity.
Sign of maturity, yes. So the first one is that questions from the audience are encouraged. Okay, so if anybody has any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask us at any time. I will try to monitor the chat as much as I can. Okay, so that we will keep updated. Okay, and then we also would like everyone to share their experiences, and experiences can be personal. So because we want this to be a safe space for everyone to share their experiences, let's be open in accepting everybody's experiences. All right, because everybody has the right to their own experience. Nobody wants to be questioned about their experiences. So let's go and jump into the first chapter. The first chapter is called Flat Tire. I seriously kept reading this as Fat Tire for a long time, I tell you. It's like, why the tire so fat? Okay.
Okay, I'll comment.
So, for those of you guys who have read the book, you will understand that this book is talking about a guy named George, right? Okay, and in the first chapter, we get introduced to this person named George. George is your run-of-the-mill white-collar staff, right? He works at a company called NRG, okay, where they produce light bulbs. And he has a wife, has 2 kids and a dog, right? A typical American gentleman, a typical American suburban family, okay? And he has a car, his wife has a car, alright? So he's a little bit better off than most people. But as we open up the first chapter, we see that he has a flat tire, okay? And it is a situation where his wife has been telling him to go and check that tire for a long time, alright? So what follows is a series of unfortunate or rather fortunate events, depending on how you look at it, right? That leads him to take a bus to work after many years of not taking buses. In fact, he even mentions, who takes a bus nowadays? And I like the fact that his wife went like, today that person will be you. Like, oh, so much burn, man. His wife is like burn level extreme, you know. And he gets on board this bus number 11. You know, the funny thing is, if you're in Malaysia, right, bus number 11 generally refers to your legs.
Really?
Yeah, bus 11 mah, you know. So it generally yeah.
That's new for me.
Oh really? You never heard of
Yeah.
You never heard of bus 11?
No, I'm start using it for now. So just say bus. I'll park my car here and then I will just take the bus to the last. Yeah, something like that.
You know, back when I was in school, right? We would go like, hey, fancy meeting you here. How did you get here? And then the guy would be like, oh, aku ambil bus. Huh? You ambil bus? Dari mana? Oh, ambil bus 11. So then you know the guy walked there. I think Atika would know this very well. Okay, so that's the... Sorry?
I take train now.
You take train, right? Train number 11 ka? Alright, so that is the general overview of chapter 1. Okay, so we're not going to read chapter 1 here because I'm afraid of infringing copyright acts.
Okay.
Right? But we have read the book and there are some questions, right? So the first one, after experiencing a flat tire, George goes like, oh my god, my day is so bad, I had a flat tire and then nobody will send me to work. I've got this emergency meeting that needs me to be there at this time, and my kids are making noise and my dogs are licking me all over the place and my wife is busy and I got no friends to send me to work. What am I gonna do, you know? So I'd like to ask you guys, have you guys ever had a bad day when something that we forgot to do caused a chain reaction? Like in the case of George, he forgot to check the tire earlier, right? So it caused a chain reaction to now the flat tire. Has that ever happened to you guys?
No way. I think it. Yeah, I probably did. When I was working, but nowadays not so much, because either I try my best to plan before and not leave things to last minute lah. But yes, we all have bad days. It's just to what degree of badness is it? How bad it is.
What
right?
degree of
It's how
bad, right?
Yeah.
That's so true. I would like to share an experience of mine, right? So I've many times things that I forgot to do cause a chain reaction to something else. Like for example, I forgot to eat. So because I forgot to eat, I had no energy for my gym. So because I had no energy for my gym, I ended up pulling too much weight. And then when I pulled too much weight, I ended up injuring myself. Whoa, I tell you, then after that, I injured myself already. Then after injuring myself, the next few hours of excruciating pain, and then the next few days of recovery is so annoying that I just derail my entire fitness program for the rest of the month, you know. So because of that, right, I become very, very afraid of doing things that can cause a chain reaction. I become afraid of it to the point where I am willing, let's say if there's a misunderstanding between me and somebody else, I am willing to confront that person right there, right then, not because I'm looking for a fight, but because I don't want to delay it and then later cause a chain reaction later. So things like that and it doesn't always come out well. Like a few days ago, there was a miscommunication between me and a best friend of mine, right? And because of that miscommunication, I was worried that I don't want to delay it, so I immediately approached him and confronted him about it. And then boom, it blew up in my face. And now we are not talking anymore. So, so yeah, that's a bad day in my books. I don't know. And then the second part about having a bad day, right, is that, oh, Daya is here. Hi, Daya. The second part about having a bad day is like, do you guys ever feel like when you have a bad day, like George feels like the entire world is against him, right? Like this one tak ngam, that one tak ngam. Have you guys ever felt like that?
Definitely at some point in life. I think having a flat tire or car engine stall on you, which happened to me years back, can be a major hassle and inconvenience, which can be disruptive if you have your entire day or intention set out, and you have to move forward to it. That's the double whammy of it. And just because of that one problem, like in my case, it was my car that broke down,
Oof.
which is not too far from my house actually, and it was a success. Thank goodness. But because I already had I was already in high spirits, came out of the house and was wanting to get going and get my day done because it's a nice day and it's a nice activity that I'm going to do. I think it was a day off for me. I wanted to take the car, park my car somewhere near a cafe and just have a nice cup of coffee and enjoy my books because I brought a whole bag of books with me. That was me back then. And because the car broke down, as a result, I had to let my parents know, I had to call the mechanic, had to stay home, and I don't want to stay home because I already was, I had a bad week. I wouldn't say bad week lah, but tiring week, and it's like, oh no, I sweat 6 bullets for my Sunday, and now my Sunday is ruined because of my goddamn car. My language, goddamn car. So yeah, and because I was very bad-tempered, that set my father off, and the general mood of the house was down as a result. So that's one incident that I can remember. But most recently, I do have bad days or bad mornings, either because I'm tired or it's that time of the month, as they say, and I do feel it quite acutely. So now for me, it's mainly that it's more of a physical hormonal thing, as you put it. I'm sure guys would also get that bit. So yeah, that's me. Hope I'm not going off tangent.
No. I think it's a physiological thing that affects ladies every month, right?
Yeah, and it's quite obvious. I don't know. I think different ladies respond differently, physiology wise. In my case, I'm quite tuned in to know that it's a difference. It's like there's a disturbance in the force. That sort of thing.
Straight away, wake up like, oh no.
Yeah. Disturbance in the force. Sometimes it happens in the afternoon, which is even worse.
Oh. I'm not sure whether it's worse in the afternoon or worse when you're half asleep, you know? You're like sleeping and then suddenly, oh shit! I'm trying to sleep here.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, like but that one can be fixed with proper nutritional care. Yeah, I think Tika has some experience on that. Tika, would you like to share yours?
Which experience my bad days.
Your bad days, your how you deal with um women problems with nutrition. I think it's quite insightful, and it would be helpful for a lot of people if they know how to deal with it in a
Uh,
yeah in a progressive positive way.
this it was a few days ago. I had like my first day of the month, right? And it was the day that we decided to do. In Spartan Challenge, there is this day called the Big Stonehenge. So you basically lift heavy stone, you walk with the weights here and there. It's basically a strenuous workout. But on that day, after the workout, I call it accidentally, drank some herbal tea, which causes my body to produce. No, it's not produce. It went haywire. You get like more cramp, more heaty, and stuff like that, right? The only way that I can think of to offset the symptom was to take double X and some calcium, and that helps me the next day because the next day was a full day event also where I have to go out meeting, I have to go out meet people and stuff like that. So you need the energy. You cannot meet people like back face, sad face right there, right? So yeah, after I took that double X double dose, it's really helped me out a lot. If not, I don't think I can even manage to get up from the house.
Yeah, I myself also I deal with bad days by using double X. Like it's now a laughing joke in my Amway team. If you see Kenji angry or something, ask him if he had his double X or not. If not, feed him double X.
Ah, okay.
Because
Yeah,
one of the reasons why we get angry so easily is because our hormones are all over the place, right? And why is our hormones all over the place is because uh, our body doesn't have enough minerals to send the correct signals for our hormones to go to the right places. So double X gives us all the minerals necessary to make sure that they all go to the right places and don't go to all the wrong places, right? So that's why double X is so important. Yeah, multivitamins lah, not just double X, but yeah, I mean some people like their multivitamins, some people like their multiminerals. Make sure you get one so that you know your hormones don't go all over the place. How do
yeah.
you
End of advertisement.
no how do you deal with bad day, Ray?
I
So
drink coffee.
coffee.
It helps. But I'm only limited to 1 cup. Most two, but very rarely I have 2 cups of coffee because now my body has gone back to normal. The being on a coffee, um, limiting coffee to just 1 cup a day. So yeah, that helps because caffeine kind of kicks in, kind of like triggers the serotonin to to give you that happy surge again, I suppose. So that helps a lot, really. I just try to stay calm for the rest of the day, and go to a quiet place. Basically, it's my room. Maybe do some meditation or breathing exercise, which is kind of rare. As long as I'm in a very quiet place, safe place, then I can give myself some time to calm myself down. Just don't interact with anyone unless I want to talk to someone. So that's for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like literally just like sit in stillness or isolate myself. But if it's emotionally very, then I do need to talk to someone.
Ah,
Let off steam.
that's one interesting way of dealing with bad days, right? Yeah, especially when you're limited to only 1 cup of coffee, and then you go like, this is what happened to me like 3 days ago on Saturday. Okay, I was driving my car, okay, and my left tire, the rear wheel tire, okay, had 3 nails in it,
Oh god.
Oh,
right? and then we went and fixed the nails. We went pull out the nails, and then we tampal the tire already, right? I was driving for another 1 hour, okay, and the same tire kena another 2 more nails.
Okay, now that's really a bad day.
No, it gets better. So I was like, okay, go pull out pull out the nails and then put the nails in, right? Okay. I was already very far, right? So I switched back to my spare tire. Okay. Was hoping tomorrow I go and pull out the nails. Switch out to my spare tire. Alright. Park my car. Okay. Move my car. And then the spare tire gets 3 nails inside. So that day when I was with Tika, okay, she saw me go send my car to change the car tire, right? To go and tampal the car tire, right? What happened was the car tire actually had to be replaced, and my spare tire also. The guy was like, oh, luckily this is your spare tire. If this is not your spare tire, you actually have to replace this tire as well. So it's like yeah, if I can only have 1 cup of coffee that day, quite sad. Because it'll be like, do I drink my cup of coffee after the first time my tire punctured? Or after the second time? Or wait until the third time? Or wait until I go to the shop there and then the guy tells me that I have to replace the entire tire?
And I guess if I'm in that situation, I would go for a second cup of coffee.
I'm really gonna say that.
Cannot really. I need a second dose. And then I throw in an XX or whatever you call it. But yeah, so but it is the definition of what do you mean by bad day? A bad day is based on this book's definition, chain of unfortunate events. It's just a day where you get up grumpy, and that started the chain of negative events spiraling.
Yeah, man. It's like you wake up and then everything goes south, right? But yeah, sorry.
I think because if that's the case, then last Saturday can be defined as a bad day lah. Because I wasn't looking forward to the Japanese session after the class, and my mood was immediately sour already. After even when I do my stretching, and stretching is supposed to be relaxing, right? So I enjoyed the stretching. I enjoyed the moment I stepped into the car, I got very grumpy. And it's like, thank God for the face mask because I was like bleeding underneath. It's like, why? I was telling myself, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 bloody hour for it, and then I'm done. And what happened was after that one grueling hour, honestly, I didn't feel energized. Didn't feel okay. Neither was I in a positive mood. That just shows how bad it was. Honestly speaking. And kind of like having that mood. Still I had a nice lunch. So I think food kind of helps.
Food definitely helps.
Yeah. Like, okay, I have a bad day. I'm just gonna treat myself to some Magnum ice cream or that sort of thing. I'm just gonna reward myself with a pastry or something that I like. And then there won't be any more bad days until somebody come and knock the ice cream off your head.
Oh, don't jinx it. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we understand the bad day, right, that it happens to everybody. Bad days happen to everybody, right? And everybody's got different ways of dealing with bad days. And one of the ways that Ray mentioned was, if the emotional turmoil gets too hard, then we need to talk to somebody, right? Or we need some help from somebody, right? So my question is this, right? If we look at the chapter, George was like, I have nobody to call. So what happens if we were stuck in a bad day? Who would we call? Or are we like George? We have no one to call. What do you think?
I think personally in life, you cannot always call someone because if it's a friend, that person might not be available on demand. And like in
Available
George's
on
case,
demand. Sounds like a porn movie. Video on demand.
so in the case of George, it's like quite, in a way, it's quite sad that he can't turn to his spouse because his spouse is already has her hands, have her hands full and very tight schedule. Kind of like me actually. There are times when I cannot turn to my partner because I know he's very busy, very stressed, very tense, very grumpy. It's a typical time bomb, so better not fragile. So either I have to can try talking to a friend if he's on demand, if he's available. Worst case, you got your Italian case slash befrienders. Just give them a call and just talk it out and kind of helps for me. If even that is not available, 3 days before, put on my gym suit, my gym gear, just do some cardio exercise in the form of dance.
But
Yeah.
what if like George, right? You're in a situation where you needed to call someone to help. Who would you call? Tika, who would you call?
I'll call. It is very serious. I actually did this before. Call Italian taxi.
Call 999. Hello, emergency.
999 cannot lah. 999 they say ambulance. You want someone to talk, then there's some specific. So it's very very emotionally pick up the phone.
By the way, guys, please take note that in Malaysia, the emergency phone number is not 999. Okay?
No, it's not.
Alright. I tell you, it was so funny. I went to the hospital, okay? And then this guy was in the hospital, bleeding half to death, right? And then he was complaining, I called 999 and no one answered my call. And I was like, dude, the emergency phone number in Malaysia is not 999.
So what is it?
It's either 112 or 103. 103 calls the operator, so get the operator to call the ambulance for you. Right?
No.
Or was it 112 or 119? I can't remember that one. But
It was a 1 month something.
112.
I think it's 112, right? But please remember, don't call 999 and don't call 911.
Nice.
Because emergency numbers are different for every country, right? So don't go and watch Rescue 911 and then after that Malaysia call 911 also. Habis.
My
Malaysia
God.
used to have 999 series.
Malaysia used to have 999, is it?
I
think
mean,
they did.
they have a reality show for 999.
Ah, okay. Yeah, but you know, emergency don't call. Yeah. So Tika, who would you call if you end up in a position where, let's say like George, you know, you're stuck, you got no car to drive. You can't call the befrienders. I don't think the befrienders are gonna come out and drive you somewhere.
No, you need to either you call a friend. Either you call a friend as well that knows what to do in such situations. And you definitely need to have that friend, I suppose. Like in the case of partner's friend, actually, he unfortunately had an accident, and it was in Klang. Because we were both on this unexpected. So he left first. He left. Just 10 minutes later, he popped up, was panicking because he had accident beside the road. So he know who to call. He called
Yeah.
inside and was
I'm-
there to inspect the situation. So I think you do need to have that friend that is matured and has gone through enough shit to know how to advise you and is not caught up in a meeting extremely packed schedule. You need that friend. If you're lucky, man, I think some Tika, Kenji, I would have an accident. Which was right? You know, Tika. So that kind of friend needs to be there.
So it kind of sounds like, you know, all you people out there who don't have a job and have friends and are willing to drive around to pick up your friends, yeah, don't worry, you're not useless in life, okay? Your friends will need you when emergencies arise.
It's true. Actually, it's true. I mean, like, we're talking about people who, like I said, don't have those insane CEO kind of schedule where you need 2 PAs to manage your day. Not that kind of friend. That one you call definitely cannot get. Those bankers are sorry.
All right. So okay. So then the question comes. The next question comes is this, right? So for George, he had no one to call. Poor George. Right? He had a flat tire. He was late for his emergency meeting. Sorry, Tika, go ahead.
No, nothing. It's just a song.
Alright. So, okay. Yay, how do I pin this message? Can I pin this message? Thanks, Eva. Eva searched for the emergency numbers for us already. So guys, those of you guys who are in an emergency, remember, okay, call 994 or 112, right? Okay, so anyway, George had it bad, right? He was having a flat tire. His wife was busy. He has no one else left to call. His house is in a mess. His kids are wanting to play with him but have no time. His dogs want to play with him but have no time. Everything's a mess for him right now, right? And he's late for this very important meeting that if he's late, he's gonna get fired. So if things happen like that in a series, what would you guys do? Would you guys panic? Would you guys stay calm? And if you can stay calm, how would you stay calm? Like, what would you do to stay calm? Right? So I'll go first. If things like that happen to me, right? Oh, I would flip. I would be like, oh my god, 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 oh my god. There's so many fires. Which one do I put out first, right? But usually, once it reaches a certain threshold, it gets past my panic panic alarms. Usually, if it's one or two things, I'll go into panic mode. I'll be like, oh my god, oh my god. And then after that, when it's 5 things or 15 things at the same time, I'll be like, it's just another one to add to the list. Because for me, after a certain amount of events happen, I just tell myself, okay, there's just too much shit. I need to deal with them one at a time. Whatever happens, happens, and I've got to be responsible for whatever that happens next. So that's how I stay calm. What do you do to stay calm? Let's go with Tika first.
I will vent first.
The 7 stages of what? 7 stages of rejection. First is denial.
Yeah. Yes. Denial. I mean,
It's
like,
not
why is this
happening.
happening?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, those things. I mean, like, why is this happening? Why can't it be like happening like tomorrow or something like that, right?
Why
And after a
not?
while, yeah. Why now? Why this? Why that? Right? And then after a while, I will find food first. Because my
Coffee
method
first.
of calming myself is to make sure that I am full, and only I can do my work.
Yes, I must have coffee.
prioritize. Yes, you have coffee. I would either like the quick fix would be chocolate. If I don't have a chocolate, a
Yes,
simple roti
chocolate.
would do. Yeah.
Yes.
Just make sure that I'm not hungry. If I'm hungry, it
Yes.
will escalate more badly to me. So then after that, I see which one is more more critical to do. Like in case of my work, if let's say I have like 5 projects come at one time, right? I'll be like, okay, this one I can do tomorrow. This one I can ask this guy to help. This one maybe like I don't want to handle this, something like that lah. If not, then I will reach out for someone to help me to help with my work or something like that lah. Because if not, I think if I don't do it like that, right, I'm just gonna go into a deep dark hole. Then I get into depression and just don't want to do anything.
That's right.
Yeah, that's very true, right? Which is good. At least we now know that if Tika starts getting agitated, right, we feed her food.
Yeah.
Tika's like the goldfish, you see the goldfish? See the goldfish swimming around, right? So you give it food. Oh, okay, now it slow down a bit. But that makes sense. That makes sense. What will you do, Ray?
I like Tika's method. I think I might follow it. If I get overwhelmed, yeah, first thing I'll do is panic first, then get angry. The emotions go in a series one, you see. Honestly, the best thing is to sit down and just breathe, or go to a very quiet place and just stone in an effort to get calm. If I don't have chocolate, then I will try to find other orange stuff. So, because I noticed that when I'm very agitated, giving my phone something to do has a calming effect. So it's like I normally have like oranges in my fridge. I'll cut one and I'll just start chewing it, yum, 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 and that helps to slow me down. Yeah, and once when I calm down, only start to see, okay, which one can I do first? I will do the smallest one first. Take one small step, take one small step, and then just continue one step at a time, and then gradually tackle whatever task that I need to do. What I do is also I'll also set a limit. If I can only, okay, on very very bad days, I'm very grumpy, very irritable, hormonal or haywire. I will just target to do just 3 things. Just do 3 things and be happy about it. Whether it's folding the laundry, whether it's just even just tidying up the room or sweeping the floor. Gao team finish. So I just had 3 things to do and tell myself, yay, I achieved something, and that hopefully will change the mood to become less agitated. Yeah. And of course coffee lah.
I like this thing that you mentioned about just do 3 things. I think I will follow this concept of yours, because we just came back from reading Grit, right? And then and then one of the things that Grit says is putting one foot in front of the other, right? Don't try to do too many things. Just put one foot in front. So I think that just being happy that you can do something speaks a lot. I mean, compared to just not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you actually managed to fold the laundry, for example, fold your clothes, it's like, oh yes, I fold my clothes already.
Yeah.
Everybody else will be
like, I'm good.
Yeah, everybody else will be like, yeah, this is something that you're supposed to do anyway. Then you're like, screw you! I did something today.
Exactly. It's like really screw the rest of the world. I just washed my cup. I'm done. Consider do a lot of things already. Just 3 things, because your mind is already very overwhelmed and probably in a very self-critical mode. So the more, if you try to take on a heavy task and say, yeah, I can do it, or try to bite off more than you can chew, and then you cannot accomplish it or finish it, it's just going to make the frustration even more. It's like, yeah, so useless, I can't even do this. So do small things first. Then it's like it registers in your mind as a success. The task is complete. Got tick there, and your mind will be like. Then from there it gets bigger and bigger lah. So yeah, just 3 things. Just 3 things.
I really think that is a very good concept, and I think I'll implement that into my repertoire of my toolkit of dealing with negativity.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to give yourself that cut yourself some slack, I would say. I mean, you're still doing something, but you have to use it to give yourself some TLC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my philosophy lah.
It's a good philosophy to live by.
My partner has a completely different approach. For him is to try to get as much done in one day, which I guess works. But if you're in an incredibly agitated mood and things start spiraling out of control, then I don't think you can do that anymore. You're just going to get even more frustrated, because observing him lah, when he does have that chain reaction. Unfortunate events, it does happen, especially when you're very organized and busy like him. So when that starts to spiral and you start to take on new tasks, you get even more clumsy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you get even more clumsy, you start hurting yourself, and then when that happens, you get even more angry. So it's not gonna help you. That's when you just have to whoa,
oh no!
Yeah, just pause and just do something and let go.
Yeah, I really
Let
agree,
go.
you know, it's a vicious cycle, you know, it's like the minute you go down something not right and then after that something else not right and then you get angry and then it turns out that you make a mistake and then do something else that's not right and then it will never stop.
It just keeps going and you just keep getting angrier and angrier.
Yeah, and you just get worse, you know, and then just like in the book, right? Someone decides to be very happy that day and show up in front of your face.
Trigger.
Right. It's like in the book, right? You when he gets on the bus number 11 and then he meets Joy.
Joy, yeah, that's the one that named Joy. Only like why lah?
Yeah, and then it's like, she goes like, what? Good, what? How are you doing there, sugar? I'm like, what?
What's that?
It's like Atika posted to me lah, you know, straight away she thinks of Queen Latifah as Joy, right? You know, it's like this very happy, very how to say, there's this very happy, very easygoing African American style vibe to Joy.
Oh,
Let me
bounce
see.
in a step.
Yeah, let me see whether I can pull it off. Let's see. Where she says, yeah, she goes like, "Good day to you today, sugar." Like, whoa.
Good day to you, sugar. And where are you off to today? There's and you're like,
Betty White.
Yeah, it's like when you play Pokemon, you know. I don't know if you guys play Pokemon. Like when I was playing Pokemon Yellow back in the days, right? And then all my Pokemon are like half dead, like 1 HP, 2 HP, and then they got poisoned. And then I'm running over to the Poke Center, and then Nurse Joy goes like, "Hi!" I'm like, "Whoa, please just get my Pokemon fixed, man. I have no time for your hi."
that's a good one.
You know, but really, like, what would you guys do? What would you guys do if you're already beaten down, you're already like tired, you're already like in this vicious cycle where, you know, things are happening to you negatively and you're sad, you know, or you're emotionally challenged. Oh, I like this word. I'm not sad, I'm just emotionally challenged. Right, when you
Emotional damage.
yeah, because emotionally challenged, you could be sad, you could be angry, you could be frustrated, you're still emotionally challenged. So it's like, you know how some people, they're like, I'm not stupid, I'm just mentally challenged. Or I am not cacat, I am just physically challenged, you know. So yeah, I am not angry, I am just emotionally challenged. So what happens when you meet somebody while you are emotionally challenged and they are super happy? What will you do? How will you react?
I think I had to. I think I will just excuse myself. I think this happened before. Remember that time when I logged in into Untapped, into the book club, and I was incredibly emotionally challenged. And you guys could see it on my face.
Yeah.
So at that point, I just have to excuse myself
Ah.
politely, not aggressively.
Well,
That's what I would do.
That's one way of
Just-
doing it, yeah.
Like I need space lah. In other words, to process things.
But you naturally tend to deflect, right? You tend to deflect the jolliness of other people, right?
Yeah, because your vibe cannot be in sync because you're totally radiating like different, or you have different auras, so they can't mix. Because one is so down and one is like really perky. So if the perky one tries to invade or unintentionally enters into the space, definitely the one that's in the negative will coil in this case because they're not in the mood to connect the way I see it. They just want to be by themselves. They're feeling a bit down, so give them their space.
Yep. No, I think that's true. What about you, Tika?
I would silently curse that person.
It's like I like that. It's so honest.
I'd be like, why is this person so cheerful? I'm like in a bad mood already. And yeah.
It's a, it's a burden.
Wow.
But I will try my best not to suddenly like lash out. But if I do lash out, I will feel bad afterward, you know.
So if
And
one
like
day
some
I'm walking halfway and then I accidentally trip on a banana, right? The first thing I need to do is I call Tika. Tika, you tengah emo now.
Enough emo, oh dear.
I'll be like, how'd you know?
I'll be like, hey, you just cursed me, is it? Like, oh.
What do you mean by that? What tengah emo? I said, okay. Okay.
Then you know,
That
okay,
would be my
she's
response.
emotionally challenged right now.
Emo tercabar.
Yeah, Hidayah says it will change the mood and environment. Yeah, that's true, right? I mean, it's definitely going to affect the mood and the environment, right? Whether somebody is high, I mean, up, or somebody is low, right? It's definitely going to change the mood and environment. For me, right, if I'm happy, if I'm not happy and somebody else is super happy, okay, it depends. I have two responses generally. The first response is if that person is going through the same thing as me and I am not happy and he's happy, I'll be like, what the heck is wrong with you? I'll be like, do you have no empathy or is there a perspective issue here? Alright? How is it possible that I just ran over a cat and you are laughing your head off? For example, right? I mean, it happened to me before. There was once, right? Okay, I was driving on the highway, okay, with a friend, right? And there was a cat that ran across the highway. I think it was a cat. I think it was a cat. It may be something else. I don't know. Okay, and I ran over it. Okay, and I was like, oh my god, I just ran over a cat. And then my friend was like, do you see that? That was so funny. I was like, what the heck? Yeah. Yeah, so you know, you can imagine, right? How would you feel? or for example, your grandfather just died, right? Like the case where my great grandmother died. Okay, my great grandmother died. Okay, and my aunts were like, okay, guys, let's go for karaoke. It's like
What?
it's like the funeral's happening. We have to go do the prayers and stuff. What do you mean by you want to go karaoke? Not now lah, later tonight. So whenever that happens, right, I will like, hey guys, what's wrong with you, man? You know, right? And then if let's say, for example, if the situation happens where, oh, my grandmother died, okay, you didn't know about it and you're happy, right? Then I'll just keep quiet. I'll just be very, very quiet. Because I don't want to affect your mood, right? So I will try my best to just keep quiet and try not to affect your mood. But yeah, that's how I will react if someone is super happy when I'm down. Right? But
It's interesting. Well, but then you mentioned about the whole empathy thing. You could be right also. If you are very down and then the super happy person, if that person is empathic enough, when he or she reads your social cues and your expressions, he or she will be really able to detect that there's something not right and will mirror your emotions or your expressions as well as say, oh, okay, you don't look good. Like, is you okay? Is there anything wrong? I mean, that's what I get lah. But in this book, she's like, oh yeah, let's go. I get pissed too.
she was like, good day to you, sugar.
Exactly. But once she noticed your face, George's face and expression and the way he stormed into the bus, like, oh, someone who is like got off the wrong side of the bed or something.
Yeah, and the way she
yeah.
and the way she flipped him off. I mean, not flipped him off, but the way she threw him off was like, where are you going? She asked, right? And then Josh was like, huh, me? Yeah, you, sugar. I haven't seen you on my bus before, and I know everyone on this route. And I'm like, whoa, it's like, whoa. But I think in her case, like, I don't know, what would you guys be affected if you were in George's shoes and then you went up to somebody like that?
Yeah,
Depend on how bad my mood is.
yeah. Being human, still in fact, I'm still carrying that black cloud in my head.
So for me, right, it's a little bit different. For me, if let's say I'm really down, right? I'm really down. And then someone comes up to me and goes like, "Hey, sugar." I'll be like, "Okay, warning signs. Get out of my zone now. Please get out of my zone." Right? And then but if they press on, okay, and they show signs that they care, right? Like for example, they don't tell you that they care. I don't like it when people come up to you and say, I care for you, and then they don't do anything about it, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, people come up to you and go like, "Oh, you are running a marathon. I care for you," and then they don't care about they don't care about whether you're hungry. They don't care about whether you're tired. They don't care about whether you're thirsty. They just sit there and tell you that they care. I'm like, guys,
This like lip service.
yeah, it's like lip service, and then it's like, so when people do that, then I'm like, no. You know what? Just forget it. Just forget it. Just ignore me. But if someone really shows that they care, like for example, like what I like about this is something I like about what Tika does, that I think allows her to become a friendlier person, or allows her to build relationships with people quite well, is that when she sees someone angry, right? She likes to do this now. When she sees someone angry, like she'll go up to the fella, "Hey, you makan already? You want to eat something? You got chocolate."
It helps. Food helps.
And she doesn't go like, "You want to eat something? There's a restaurant down the road." No. She goes like, "You want to eat something? I got chocolate." She will purposely walk down to the 7-Eleven, buy a piece of chocolate, and then come up to you and go like, "I got chocolate." So that's something that I really think that Tika, you're doing the right thing, and it will allow you to make a lot of friends that way. It will allow you to build a lot of deeper relationship with people that way. I think that so so in the case of Joy, right? She doesn't give him chocolate, but she gives him a wake up call. She literally slaps his face. So when someone does that, right, then I'll be like, "Oh, okay, maybe I should just listen for a little bit. It's not gonna hurt me to just listen. But if someone just doesn't show you that they care, then we're like, really? My mentor used to tell me this. I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care, right? Right? He told me this, and it became my mantra for a while. Until I realized that nobody cares anyway.
Right.
But recently I realized that it's not that nobody cares. It's just that I need new friends. Oh, ow.
But I like the whole chocolate gesture. Is basically showing kindness to someone who's having a bad day. And personally, I think that kind of helps. I can recall a situation when I was emotionally tercabar, emotionally challenged. This one's overwhelmed lah. Something to do with getting a seat during Chinese New Year of all days at a very crowded Chinese restaurant, and then my mother-in-law and my mom were both there, which makes the pressure even more, makes the pressure higher, so to speak. But finally, we did got a place. We did settle down. It wasn't too much of a long wait, but my heart was still racing, and it's like my emotions were not settled. Emosi tak tenteram lah. In other words, there's something that's still bugging me. I have no idea. So
You're
I had
still
to
being
excuse.
challenged.
I had to. Yeah, really emotionally challenged. I don't know what's going on, but I was very, very, very agitated. In spite already having the sleep. Imagine that. So I have to excuse myself. to get some fresh air. Maybe I need the space because it's a very crowded restaurant. I think that has obviously affected me. I went downstairs and yes, I ordered myself a coffee. there's a there's a cafe downstairs, and the person that was serving me was actually very kind. The way he asked what is it that I wanted, and how he served, and how he left a nice message on the cup. But that kind gesture, and obviously he was very perky. He was in a good mood when he served me actually, and that actually made a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it helped me to calm down.
I'm very sure of that because I myself have a personal experience where I was super pissed that day, right? I had problems with my downline, I had problems with my best friend, I had problems with my friend, and it was a mess of emotions that day. I was super challenged that day. And then you know what happened? Someone walked up to me and said, "Hey, I cannot finish this burger. You wanna?" I was looking at the guy like, dude, this is. I am nowhere near a McDonald's. I am nowhere near a KFC. I am nowhere near anywhere that sells a burger. And this guy just walks up to me and says, "I have an extra burger. You want one?"
Oh,
Either this guy's been walking around with a burger,
that
right?
guy's a guardian. That guy's literally your guardian angel.
Yeah, or this guy is some form of some angel, right? Sent to like pick me up from this hell, you know. So I thanked the guy profusely, and then after that I was like a lot better. My mood became a lot better. Another example of this, right, was I have a friend. Okay, she's now my downline. Alright. When I first met her, she was suicidal. Okay, and when how I met her was like this. We were in a shopping mall, and she's a really pretty girl. She's really pretty. Very, very sad. She was crying, she was bawling her eyes out, and she was alone. No one would walk near her at all. And she's not like sitting in some quiet corner somewhere. No, you know, she's sitting in the middle of Mid Valley. Okay, you know where Zeus Coffee is now, right? Last time that one is not Zeus Coffee. Last time that one was just an empty space where people can sit, right? Okay, she was just sitting there, you know. So there were tons of people walking up and down, right? And everyone ignored her. You know? So you know what I did? Okay, I had a spare bar of chocolate in my bag, right? I walked right up to her and said, "I don't know why you're crying so hard. I don't know what happened. Okay, here's a chocolate and I have a hug for you if you want one." Right? She gave me a hug, okay, and sat down and explained to me her story. Right? She wanted to kill herself because of a lot of issues lah, right? A lot of normally this kind of problem happen because of human problems lah. Humans are the source of all the human problems, right? So so she sat down and cried and talked to me about it. Few weeks later, okay, she actually got back to her ex-boyfriend, okay, and she told me this. She said, thanks to me for giving her that bar of chocolate, she was able to see things differently and patch things up with him. But ever since that incident, she has always looked up to me. And then when the minute I told her I was doing the Amway business and I had an Amway team and I was trying to find more people to support my business, she was like, "Sure, where do I sign up?" And until today, every month, she will constantly buy vitamin C from me. It's not a lot, but hey, you know, at least I helped somebody make her day.
You help save someone's life, for goodness sake. That's a big thing.
Yeah, and now she owns a new Proton X70. She just bought it like last week. So yeah, I think that's great. You know, someone who went from being emotionally challenged to being in control of their life. You know, so yeah, I think that's great. Wow. So apparently everybody gets affected when there's someone jolly and we are down. Okay, so I'm not the only one. So then this is the question, right? So we all know that like Ray's story, right? Someone gave her some message of kindness, and that helped her feel better, right? If someone were to offer you help when you were down, okay, would you accept that help? Would we accept that help? For me, like I said earlier, it depends. If I know that you're being sincere, you're being genuine, you actually show me that you care instead of just telling me that you care, right? Then yes, I will accept the help. Right? I am not so egotistical that I will not accept help when offered, especially when I'm in a position of
Vulnerability.
vulnerability. One example is my family. I do not have the best relationship with my sister, but there are times when I am emotionally challenged. Right, day before yesterday was one of them. I was so emotionally challenged. I really thought of giving up everything. And my sister walked into my room and said, "Hungry ah?" I said, "No, not hungry." "Why not hungry?" I said, "Not feeling good." "Why not feeling good?" "Emotionally challenged." "Why emotionally challenged?" You know, me and my sister are like that. We get into an interrogation mode. And then after she found out the reason, she offered me help. She offered, "What's this change of perspective? Why don't you try doing this? Why don't you try doing that?" And at first I was like, nah, you know what, screw that shit. But then she actually showed me that she was willing to help me out along the way by actually pointing me ways and calling up her friend to find out certain things for me, find out certain details for me. And because of that, I ended up receiving the help from my sister. And it's not a lot of help, but just receiving the help made me feel like there's hope again. So if that person was coming to me and just said, "You want help?" I'll be like, "No, I don't want help." But if that person shows me the sincerity and helps me regardless of whether I say I want the help or not, right? Then yes, I will accept that help, right? So that's why some people feel that Kenji very hypocrite one. I asked whether he need help or not, don't want me to help. But then when somebody comes, steps in and does it for him, he's okay with that help. What the heck? Kenji super hypocrite. But that's me. What about you guys? What do you guys think? Would you accept the help in that position?
Am I lagging?
No,
Yes.
everyone's just quiet.
Yes, and I guess it depends on what the help is and how do I feel about that help. If I genuinely think that I can cope, then I will thank them for the kindness, but it's not necessary. If it's something that I really need and is out of my resources, then yes, accept the help. And that would mean, as you said, overcoming my own pride. It's like receiving help from others also has this little barrier. Your egoistical self said, "No, I can do it myself." So it's like it's overcoming that initial pride. But yeah, it kind of depends on the kind of thing. Is it convenient for me? Does it take up much more of my resources? Am I capable of doing it? Do a quick evaluation of it first.
So it's like the fellow want to offer you help, you also like, "Hey, no, I wait, let me think first." So you are staring a gift horse in the mouth lah.
Huh? Yeah, as I say, it depends on what the help.
What the hell?
Yeah, what kind of help is it? Like for example, I was looking for a handful for cosplay reasons, and I couldn't find good one because the ones that I want was. Then that's when I willingly asked for help and it was offered. So did I say yes to it? I said yes lah. But that is a different situation. If I'm in George's situation,
Where you're already
I'm-
emotionally challenged and the
If
other
I'm
person
already-
is super bubbly.
I can't remember if there's such a situation. I think there is, but once my face is down flat on the mud, then it's like the lowest that you can go. You can't get any worse than that, so you might as well just accept the help. Is there anything to get me out of this?
I know because I remember there was a time where you weren't feeling too good and I sent you a message offering help and I was like, I even detailed like how you need me to help. I will come and do this.
Well, you can help me now by letting me know what is that mouthwash that helps you with your wisdom tooth foot trap in the crevasse of your gums issue. If that helps, then yeah. If it's like what you said, then I'm willing to give it a shot lah. If not, then I have to go dentist.
Yeah, I personally think it's a cheaper alternative than going to the dentist lah. So yeah.
Or I just had to gargle with salt.
Don't do salt. Don't do salt. Salt will make it worse. I mean, not make it worse, but salt will make it more painful.
It's okay. It shouldn't be as bad as it is.
Oh no.
It's not as bad as before lah. The past few days, I think it's like slowly going off already. But if I can get rid of it completely, then
Okay, advertisement done. Okay, Tika. Will you accept that? Will you receive that olive branch?
Yeah, I usually accept the help that if people offer me. It's, I just want to get out from the problem that I face as fast as I can. Because to me, if I don't accept the help, right, and then I will feel guilty, and then it's like from you when you're in a bad day, and then you reject people's help, and then after that you're gonna think about it, and then like feel guilty about it, and then after that it's like a whole cycle of bad emotion going on. So I would just rather get help, and then then after that get myself feel better faster. I think, yeah.
All right. I think among the three of us, right, Atika is probably the most humble. Because she will just willingly accept help like that, right? Me and Ray also will judge that person first before we receive the help, right? So bad lah, we all.
yeah, we evaluate the situation because sometimes if the help that is offered is like, oh, can you let's go meet up somewhere and go out in 1 hour, and I said, I want to sleep, so I have to say no. So I have to evaluate what's my situation now. Can I just like get up and go, or I'll be alright for the next few minutes? Then okay lah, I'll be alright for the next few minutes lah. Then I don't have to cut down.
Okay, now I know if I ajak Ray to go out yum cha, she says no, most likely she's sleeping.
Yes, most likely I just want to stay home and be in my quiet spot and sleep. Or I'm just lazy to put on clothes.
Okay, let's continue. Alright, so chapter 2. Okay, yay, we finished one chapter. Woohoo! So we come to chapter 2. So chapter 2, after work, our friend George decides it's a good idea to just walk back home, right? And walk back to check on his car. So he walks back to go check on his car, right? And the foreman tells him, "Oh, there's good news, sir." I was like, "My car is in repair. What fuck? What fine news you gonna give me that can make me feel like it's good news, right?" Then the guy was like, "Oh, your car, if you didn't stop driving your car, you could have met an accident because your brakes are gone." And then the guy was like, "There is more good news. We can get the parts for you for free, and then we can fix it for you immediately once the parts arrive. The only bad news is it takes 2 weeks to arrive." And then the guy was like, "Huh?"
2 weeks after the bus, what the heck?
The guy's like, where's the good news? I only see bad news. What good news? There's no good news here. You know? He totally ignores the fact that he gets his car fixed for free. I, I think I'm very Asian, you know. When a guy tells me that, oh, the manufacturer is gonna come give it to you for free, right? I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a free upgrade for my car. You know, it's just like this laptop, right? Those of you guys who know about my laptop story, it's like I got the laptop for 5 months. Out of the 5 months, I only used it for what, 2 months, because the 3 months it was like going in and out, and I was like, oh, so angry about it, right? So negative about it, until the guy tells me, okay lah, let's change a new laptop for you. Oh yes, we're gonna get a new laptop. So typical Asian.
You.
Right?
We go for the best bargains and the best deal, the biggest discounts.
Yahweh. So then that begets us this question. This is the last question for the day, right? When you receive this kind of news, are we able to look past the negative emotions to see the good news? And do we color the news with emotions? So I'll share my own experience first, right? For me, like in the case of my laptop, okay? When someone comes up to me with good news and bad news, right? Oh, I definitely can see the good news one. I definitely can. I swear to God, I definitely can, right? I can always look past the negativity to see the good news. Okay? Which is the reason why when I get a new laptop, I'm super happy. I'm getting a new laptop. You know? But in the case of humans, right? Like people, my mentor always says, oh, you cannot see them in the positive light. That's why you are so negative right now. I'm like, no, I can see their strengths. I know their strengths. I know they are working hard. I know the things are happening, right? But I don't say it. It's not because I can't see it, right? But because I color the news with my emotions. My ego gets so big that even though I know they are good, I'm gonna say they are bad because I am emotionally challenged right now. It's like for example, you know, it's like my laptop, okay, was like in and out of the workshop, and then I was like, yeah, the good news is I'm getting a new laptop, but in front of the guy, I am still gonna act as if I'm super pissed, okay? Because why? Because my ego is not gonna let him get away with it. I'm gonna guilt trip him until he gets it for me for free and gets it to me on time, you know? which is how I got my current laptop. I'm such a bad guy. I'm such an Asian. Right? But that's me. What about you guys? What do you guys... How do you guys... I don't know. When you receive news like this, Tika, what happens?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what I usually do when I'm in a bad situation. And then there's like two types of news comes in.
Okay.
I think for instance, like last week, right, one of my teammates fell sick, and I was bombarded with a lot of work. To the point like I actually like get really pissed off with my project managers. Like, how come you guys don't understand this simple thing? You know, like there's a process for project managers, there's a process for developers, right? And then came one my scrum master will come and like, Tika, it's okay, I will help you, because on the day before all of my teammates were on public holiday and I was the only one in the team trying to fend off everything.
Wow. Solo time.
Yeah, solo time. So basically, like there's like all the project managers couldn't find their developers will find me, and I was already in like I already was swamped with a lot of work. And I'm trying to like trying to solve like one by one, right? But those method doesn't work when like three people comes in and three people say all my work are critical, and you be like my first way of doing this usually be like you guys settle among yourself and decide who's like doing this, right? But none of them like wanted to like step down and like letting one person to win first, right? So another developer like came like how to say came before from his vacation be like, okay, it's okay, I will come and help you. I think that day it was sort of like a good news, but in the same time it was a bad news because that guy is totally new and he doesn't know what to do. So I have to like help him in order for him to help me. Does that answer the question?
So the question is this: can you look past the bad news to see the good news? And do you color your news with your emotions? Like me,
I
I definitely color my news with emotions, man. I am a very emotional person. More like I'm a very emotionally challenged person.
I'm an emo person too, to the point that someone tegur me last time, why you so always emo one. But yeah, I think I do color my the news with my emotion. For example, if I'm like really bad, right, and then someone tells me a good news, I'll be like, okay, that's it. I don't I don't treat it as like a really good news unless it's really, really, really good news for me.
Hmm.
Ray, you look like you got something to say. Come on.
Mm, I just experienced this, and so the answer is yes. I definitely color the news slash remarks slash comments with my own emotions. I think that one is quite. Because this morning, I think yesterday, seen a piece of. It's not news per se. It's more like a response, immediate reaction. You know, this guy's an a hole. And then when I went to sleep, get up the next morning, go up to my spouse. This guy's an a-hole. No, he's seriously an a-hole.
What
And then I
happened?
start ranting about it. So yeah, so that already tells that reveals that um, I had my own judgment on it, perception of the person that gave that response, putting my own dark emotions on it, and that equals to a-hole person. You get what I mean? Oh, that person is a-hole. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. So you definitely color your news with emotions. Are you able to look past the negativity into seeing good news?
For this particular situation is actually very challenging because although yes there is good news, um, it is moving forward, but because of my negative experience that accumulate along with my own perception of the situation, it makes it even more difficult for me to look past the negative emotions attached to it,
Yeah, I can
especially
understand.
especially when it's something that is I would consider it as high risk. Yeah, it's not like it's not simple transaction, simple small amount sort of a financial thing. It's an exorbitant, it's a huge amount of a property that I do. So definitely it's a very painful experience for me. So to look past the negative emotions is very, very difficult. That one I needed professional intervention in the form of my I even need a therapist to actually sit me through because it's just that difficult to look past my own judgment.
Oof.
Yeah, that's the
Sounds
freshest one.
that sounds deep.
It's it's I wouldn't say it's definitely heavy and it's heavy and it's not pleasant. I wouldn't want anybody to be in my situation and heck not for my future kids as well. No way. And it's also attached to say that my parents got me into this situation to begin with. So that it's a really a big mess tangle of negative emotions attached to this situation, and I'm trying my best, using a lot of grit to get out of it. So yeah, so whatever news that comes from that situation, it tends to be I tend to read it as very negative because dominantly it's a negative experience. It's an experience that a situation that nobody wants to be in. And here I am in that situation. Not even a jolly bus driver can get me out of this. Yeah, it's really that bad. It's like I'm lucky that I'm not sought antidepressants for it yet. But it's really of that degree.
So I think it's something that everyone does to color our news with emotions and not being able to look past the negative. I know I know it's difficult to look past the negative to see the good news. But I personally believe this is my personal belief everyone can look past the negative to see the good news. But because we color the emotions into our news or remarks or whatever, okay, because of that, we are unable to look past our own ego.
It's like I want to be right. It's like in this case, it's like I want to be right. I want to blame my parents. It's like there's a payoff there for saying that they are an innocent victim. So that's why that stickiness is there to want to blame that it's not my fault, but it's the fault of two individual people. How could they be so evil? So it's like my brain likes that drama. It's going on the way to see it.
Yeah, because we are all narcissistic in our own way, right? So
More like I want to. It's more like we all want. I would say we want to believe that problems are unique to us.
yeah, we all want to be the center of the universe.
Yes. No, we just want to say it's not so much a center of the universe. We want to communicate that we matter. We are not just a statistic.
Yeah.
That, because anchors will look at my situation and say, "What is your cases like that?" Because I was some shit. Right? I said, "No, I'm not. Don't brush me aside. Don't brush me aside." It's one of those people who see, that I'm unique. I want to be unique in this. So look at me. Pay attention to my problems. Something like that.
Yeah, I get what you're referring to, and I think that's a very powerful point of view. So with that, we come to the lesson of the day. The thing about the energy bus is that it's very open-ended. Anybody could grab any lessons from the chapter, right? There's a lot of lessons that you can get from one chapter. So I would like to hear from everyone. One lesson that you heard from today. I'll start, right? I think for me today, the very powerful lesson was what Ray shared earlier, which was the three things. Just do three simple things. Even if everything else is going ballistic everywhere, just do three simple things and be happy that you did the three simple. I think the part about being happy that you did three simple things is very powerful. Right? Ray, what's your lesson for the day?
To eat something. Whenever you're agitated or about to make a decision, make sure that you are not hungry. And I think I learned about just generally being kind to others on a regular basis and not tell people, "Hey, I care for you," they show it up. I think that was a strong thing. Although honestly speaking, I've never said such things to anyone. It feels weird to say I care for you. It sounds like a parent said, "Hey, I love you," they said I need you.
I know, right?
It just sounds so
So Asian.
like, that's not even Asian. There's something so dirty and
So demeaning.
yeah, demeaning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like. Yeah, I don't want to go there. It's so demeaning. I don't.
No, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. Tika, what
Just
about
give the
you?
chocolate.
Yeah, just go like, hey, here's your chocolate, man.
I need to restock my chocolate then.
Yes.
Is that going to be your lesson for the day?
More or less, because I think I learned about being kind to people, like in case like Kenji all of a sudden he saved a life by offering a gesture, a kind gesture, and then towards pray about the coffee at the cafe scene, right? I think people will have bad days, and then even if you are having a bad days, it's gonna take time for you to process everything. People are being kind to you. You may not accept their kindness at first, but yeah, but it doesn't mean that you should not be kind to others.
Mm.
Something like that.
That's true, right? Just because you may not accept other people's kindness doesn't mean that you cannot reciprocate kindness. That's very true. Okay, so let's continue. Uh, Here are some thinking stuff so that the thing about the magic about the energy bus is that there are always things to think about so that it can be helpful in our daily lives, right? So this is this is Ray's favorite. We have a worksheet now. Right. So for those of you guys who are watching us online, you can screenshot this and try it out for yourself, right? Okay. There are 3 questions that I find from the chapter that are very powerful to think about. Okay. The first one is, do we have enough gratitude for the things and the people that we already have? That means, are we thankful that we have a roof over our heads, a car that can have a spare tire that's flat, yeah. We have kids that can annoy the crap out of us, like in Josh's case, right? So are we,
Chocolate to eat.
yeah, are we grateful for those things? Do we have a friend that can annoy a shit out of us? you know. And the second question that I think we can think about is, can we accept the happiness of others if we ourselves aren't happy right now? Can we be like,
Okay.
I am happy for you, right? Even though I am suffering inside, I am happy for you. Are we able to honestly tell ourselves, to honestly share that with sincerity that, or I am not going through an easy time in my life right now, but you are, and I'm honestly, truthfully happy for you. And I don't want anything for it, I'm just happy for you. And the last one is, can we actually be stoic enough to look at news and not color it with our emotions?
It's a work in progress.
I think for question 3 is more of a case of, we know that we can't immediately, but knowing that we have the choice, knowing that there's choice, choose to see it as progress. In my case, choose to see it as from a victim's mentality.
Yep. I
So
think
knowing that is that.
I think you're right on that one. We really should look at it without the color of our emotions in it.
As for question 1, is a case of, I think human beings, we have a tendency to take things for granted. So it makes sense to just go stay in the jungle for 1 week without Wi-Fi, without blanket, and things like that. We come back, water.
I think these questions we will continue this discussion offline, right? So those of you guys who would like to participate in the discussion, leave a comment and we'll try to reach out to you, okay? On YouTube or on Twitch, whichever platform that you're watching us. All right, just leave a comment and say that you're interested to join the discussion for the energy bus, and we will see if we can accommodate you for our offline discussions. I am working on starting a new Discord just for energy bus. So yeah, let's see if we can just for our book club lah, not necessarily for energy bus, but let's see whether we can get people into their book club to discuss offline the questions that they have or the ideas that they have. Like for example, I remember someone mentioned earlier she has a lot of ideas about grid that she still wants to go in depth, right? So I think
Yeah, we should.
yeah, I think having a platform for us to do that would be nice. So yeah, I'll look into doing that and we'll see what we can do. All right. Alright, we have come to the end of the stream. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you guys next week for another couple of chapters on the energy bus. See you guys next week.
Yay.